Boruto haters hate this. And they're saying Himawari shouldn't be able to do a Biju Bomb.
It can only achieve in Biju state.
That's cap.
It's impossible without the Biju transformation.
Also cap.
I didn't think it was possible for a Jinchuriki in human form to handle such a heavy chakra sphere. It isn't possible, as I suspected. You're handicapped in human form.
By the manga's own admission, there is no form requirement.
Except for every single instance that I already showed, plus the evidence that they've never done a Biju Bomb outside of version 2 or higher. Even in the Minato one-shot, they had to at least manifest the head of the Biju in order to contain the chakra of that giant sphere of a Biju Bomb. And this is why even the 8 Tail says you change the chakra form, pull it in your mouth.
So on page 12, it explains you need to pull chakra in your mouth, manifesting your Biju form. Then on page 14, he attempts to do a Biju Bomb with just his hands. And then B's like, who taught you that? Which they then explain Minato taught him. But most importantly, he said it's easy to achieve in Biju state. In other words, when you have to manifest like Kurama's head as an example. But when still in human form, the change is difficult, almost impossible. However, if you add rotation, that makes it more plausible. Meaning, it's possible to do a Biju ball if you added rotation in human form. Like B here literally basically said, it's more plausible, it's possible. Do you see where I'm going with this? Look at whose Biju Bomb is rotating, right? And she's in human form. And it makes logical sense because look at all the different strands of hair that she's literally able to basically target the Biju Bomb from multiple angles to make sure that there's enough rotation. Because remember when Naruto struggled to create the Rasengan, he just got more hands on the ball? Himawari is doing that with her hair. She has achieved exactly what Killer Bee said was required, rotation. That's what would make it possible in human form. So all this information, like it's impossible without a Biju transformation, this all happens at the beginning of chapter 519, whereas this is literally like the second last panel. So if you bothered to read to the end of the chapter, which most Jujutsu Kaisen fans don't have that kind of patience to do, that's why they only stick to an anime that only has a couple of episodes because they haven't had the time to watch all of Naruto or read it. See, as you can see, this is page 17. 18 is blank. It's the final page of the chapter. Killer Bee is basically saying, if you can just get the rotation right, it will work. Now, he tried to do it in battle again, and this was chapter 554, and he fails. But what we learned is later, after he gained a mastery of Kurama, and they built a relationship, improving Naruto's affinity with Kurama, he was able to do it in human form. And by human form, I don't mean like he's using Kurama's head. Like, this is clearly Naruto in human form. So if you read those panels and cherry-picked out of context, your average short attention span TikToker would be like, oh, it's impossible without Biju transformation. Fraud Boy is 100% correct, even though he just makes fraudulent claims all the time. Like he lied about Gojo's Infinity for 3 years using fake panels. And now he's cherry-picking specific statements without sharing the full story. When we have whole chapters of Naruto just using these Biju bombs in human form, like literally, to the face even. And tell me, does this look like a Biju to you? Because it isn't. This is just Obito's tree, and he's literally doing Biju bombs from a tree. So how does that make sense that you can only make a tailed beast bomb from Biju state when this is a tree making these bombs? Not to mention, we have Jura here. He's making a tailed beast bomb from his right eyeball. We don't see him manifesting his mouth and doing so in Biju state. Nobody's hating on Jura here. Not to mention the fact that Jura, who is a tree grime of the Ten Tails, this would actually be canon that he can make, Biju bombs. Because Obito was making Biju bombs from a tree also. And if Naruto was able to do it in human form, why wouldn't Himawari not be able to do it? If anything, this is true to what was written in Shippuden. And again, everybody knows that it's quite a trend to just hate on Naruto and call everything a plot hole. But then, in reality, it's just the fact that people haven't read the show. I can't wait to see this comment section. People are just going to try and make it all personal over anime. But I just find these so, just crazy. Just how blind people are when they just could have taken 5 seconds to read.